So for all the negative rap that pro wrestling and the pro wrestling industry can often get, personally, I think it has taught me so much about life for the better. A while ago, I released a video with 5 life lessons that pro wrestling taught me. And if you haven't seen that, I should link it somewhere above if we're here on YouTube. Otherwise, head over to my YouTube channel and you can see it there. Here is another 5 things that pro wrestling has taught me in my life. The first one is to greet everyone, and pro wrestling typically does this quite well, probably because of a bygone era of getting heat for not shaking hands with everyone backstage. And that has changed quite a bit. And as I've said many times before, you do not need to go and say hello and have a 10-minute conversation with every single individual. And no, you do not need to wait awkwardly behind them with your hand outstretched. Just be cool about it. You walk past someone, whether it's a pro wrestling event, a social gathering, a workplace conference, just say hello. How you going? Good morning. How are you? If you don't know them, maybe introduce yourself if you've got the time. You never know who they might be. And it's not about status or anything like that, but it's just that, what if you have to work together in 10 minutes time? And you've already built this awkward interaction where you've both walked past each other, tunnel vision, eyes down. Look, it's just the cool thing to do. It's courteous, it's respectful, it breaks the ice, and it's not that hard. My second life lesson is that first impressions last, but showing improvement trumps all. And this is something I took from a lot of major league tryouts. It's something that was mentioned quite often, is being coachable. And okay, you might set a negative first impression, and yes, you should always avoid that. But I think that waiting until you're ready to take the plunge on something, you're just never going to feel ready. Sometimes it's best to give things a go, try it out, see how you go. And if you don't face success, learn from it, improve from it, and come back better. Sometimes the most impressive thing is when you see someone who just keeps coming back for more, and every single time they show that little bit of improvement. Because by doing that, they're showing that they have a very high ceiling, and they will continue to improve with the right guidance. The third one is to be open to change. Let's face it, life is fluid, and if you're just a miserable human being to be around every time something changes, it's not going to be very much fun. You're not going to be happy. People around you aren't going to be happy. It achieves nothing. For me, whatever the challenge is, whether I like it or not, whether I believe in it or not, it's my mission to do it as best as possible. The fourth one is that you're only as good as your last performance, and this kind of comes back to earning over deserving. I feel like if you're just living off past glory, you're probably not going to be very happy with the outcome. People forget very quickly, things change very quickly. Always be ready to prove yourself. The fifth and final one is to treat every opportunity like it's your last. In all walks of life, professional wrestling specifically, you can be going from strength to strength to strength. You can have momentum behind you, everything's looking perfect, and then it gets cut off on a whim. It's happened to me multiple times. It's happened to anyone who's been around the game long enough. So don't take anything for granted. Always appreciate everything. Always put your best foot forward on everything. You really never know when it's going to end. So those are 5 more life lessons that pro wrestling taught me. I'd love to hear from you. What has professional wrestling taught you, or what have you learned through your time in the professional wrestling industry that you think is appropriate for all walks of life? If you got anything to add to the conversation, drop it in the comments box below. Of course, if you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all of my updates and all of my new content around the world of professional wrestling training. And I hope to see you next week for another episode of World Beater Wrestling.